Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
Flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, another Tuesday.
We're checking out a local strain.
Yeah, we are in Utah, for those who don't know. If you're new, you don't know. And if you're from Utah, you're like, what? They're here?
I know.
We get that all the time.
We're just hiding.
Yeah, we hide in a little hole. But yeah, Brandon said that we're going to be trying from Dragonfly. What's the strain we're going to be reviewing today?
It's garlic banana.
Ooh, that sounds disgusting.
It really does sound disgusting. But if you, it's made with GMO
Okay.
and banana punch.
And, you know, from what I know, and here it is, not a lot of garlicky smell. It's a nice overall pungent, but it's not too pungent. You know, almost to the point, like there's some strains where you'll smell it and it almost smells like mold. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it doesn't mean they're moldy, but it just has that scent. But if you...
This one has, yeah.
It's a very mild, slightly pungent, but it's just...
It has a little bit of gassy notes in there.
Yes.
But the, so GMO, for those who don't know, is garlic cookies. And that one has like a... I actually really like that one. Surprisingly, from like the name...
No, I'm just saying that this idea with garlic.
Seems... Yeah, that's what I thought the first time that I had it. They were like, oh, it's GMO. And that's like garlic something. Like, oh, that sounds gross. And you're like, no, it's like a really nice experience. I was like, oh, okay, kind of like cheetah piss or something.
Yeah.
You're like,
I love piss. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point because piss sounds disgusting.
yeah.
But then I will say
can't-
piss in my mouth.
Yep. Right. All
That
day
stuff
long
is
with
amazing.
that stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
Cheetah piss, pirate piss, unicorn piss.
Yeah. Ooh, unicorn piss is great.
Yeah, like really good stuff.
Big fan of cheetah, but
Let's grind her up.
yeah. And before we get into that one, I didn't talk about it. I had this awesome shirt my wife got me. It says, guess what, chicken butt. It's an ongoing thing with my son. He's 8. He's just always like, Dad, stop with the dad jokes. But yeah, I had to share that because I knew my wife's like, are you gonna wear it on the show? I'm like,
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Also, we're gonna be using this grinder from Onorok.
Yeah.
ONOROK. We met these guys at the
MJ BizCon down in Vegas.
These guys are out of Canada. Cool
Canada.
grinder. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna go quickly through it. They have this little compartment up top. This will hide your bud.
Oh,
Right?
a lot of people don't know this, but you can hide your weed in there.
You can hide your weed in there. Very interesting configuration.
Yeah, look at the not teeth,
They're
but
not teeth. It's like almost
waves,
like a seashell.
like a ripple.
Yeah. And then instead of screwing off, it's just a locking mechanism. So
Like a
this is
quarter
the-
turn.
It's got a nice grate there. And then your keef catcher on the bottom is really cool. Not because it has a keef catcher, but this thing screws out. And you can wash this screen real easy.
Oh,
in a
dude, that's
bath of
awesome.
ISO instead of what you typically are going to do, which is just...
I soak my whole grinder. I literally just like take it all apart and soak the whole thing in ISO because
I'm a fucking savage. I don't clean them.
well, I had to because my last one
Got so gummy.
it was
Should we just put the whole thing
7 years old. I don't know. Yeah. Dump the whole thing in.
Beep, 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 beep. So I'm extremely excited to be able to try out this grinder just for the fact of the design
Very
And-
unique.
and what it acts like. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so you got to hold on. That sounds weird.
It does sound really interesting.
Dude, keeps all the stems in there. Oh my gosh, that turns it to a fucking powder. That's crazy. Look at the stems right in there. It won't let it go through.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
Right?
I like that.
The openings are not too much. I do like this. It did feel kind of weird. The grindy feeling that I was getting there was from...
I went to keep twisting it off. It's a quarter turn.
I know, because we're
It's
used
so
to it,
weird.
right? Just chink.
Because every grinder I've ever had is...
So what's the consistency?
Oh, dude,
pretty
that's
fluffy?
light. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. Cool.
Okay.
yeah, you guys, we'll put a link down there. You guys can check it out. About $44, so not too bad. We like Stash as well. Stash is a little bit cheaper.
Love Stash
A
grinders.
lot of sense, but I do like this, the way it works. But go ahead and put it down. Go ahead and load your bowl over there with this.
Oh no, load up your crafty first.
All right, that's an easy small load.
That's way cool.
Tell us about the lineage of garlic bananas.
GMO and Banana Punch. So
what's the percentage on this at Dragonfly?
Yeah, so total THC is 27.83%. It's got CBD, CBDA, CBG, CBGA in it. It's got beta-carotene, limonene, beta-myrcene, humulene, and beta-pinene. Beta-carotene is obviously like the highest percentage in that one, but yeah, really excited. It's got I actually liked the trichome coverage on this one. I like the orange hairs. I loved the coloring. This has been, we were talking about this right before, Dragonfly has been the best experience of Utah products that we have had so far.
Hands down.
Yep.
It is the best.
Their pen, the live resin, beats them all. Any cart that I've had here in Utah, that's been better.
They also have some really interesting products that only they make that we'll go into another episode later on. I have loved their products. I'm really excited to try some of their flour. This is the first time I've used their flour.
So we were going to actually check out, Jesse was going to use his Crafty Plus, but today we're going to use the Jet water pipe again.
Yeah, we love this bong. It's by far the coolest bong, the best bong, best
indestructible.
Yeah, it's indestructible, which, there's a lot of them out there that say that, that do that.
Oh, but they had tests. We watched the video and the guy's 6-8 feet up on a ladder, throwing it down as hard as he can on the ground.
I think I've seen those. There's a lot of other ones that are out there that are made of glass. This one, however, we feel that it's got all the percolators in there, so it's not your stereotypical bong.
It's really smooth.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
It's by far some of the best hits that you will ever get.
Oh, yeah. And I don't cough from it. I am... And I love that it's got its own perk on it. Not perk. Wow. It's got its own carb.
You just press it down.
Yeah. Yep. And it just clears the chamber. It's fantastic.
Dude, I love this where you can screw on this cap and now it's smell proof.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm smelling off of here, but man, I will say this though, this grinder, it's going to get dirty pretty quick. Look at those blades. It's going to be sticky, but you know what? Doesn't matter.
All grinders get sticky.
The one thing I hate about typical grinders that you see, you can buy a Sharpstone, is that you get clogged.
Stuck in between it. Yep. Same.
Nothing.
I hate that.
That's what I like Stash,
awesome.
where it has those nubs.
It just it pulls it apart nicely. Yeah.
I will say this though, this was the fastest and cleanest grind I've ever had. I literally turned it 4 times and it was gone and left all the stems.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh, dude, that also has a lifetime warranty.
The Jet one?
Yeah, I just looked down. It says a lifetime warranty, and I'm like, that's legit.
Aluminum, and it's a really cool bowl. It's a deep bowl. All right, so it's got enough water in here now. Cool thing. I will remember this because last time we used it, I did not use that at all.
I was like, I thought it had that.
So I don't have to remove the bowl.
No, you don't. You just pull down on that, and that is the carb that allows the air to flow through.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, I love that. It's such a cool design.
That's crazy. It's still so clean.
What's the flavor you're getting?
It's really mild. I'm not getting any garlic.
What about bananas? You getting lots of bananas?
No banana. No fruity. Again, that's why I wanted to try it in a vaporizer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I tend to get more flavors out of it. I love that bong. That thing is so cool.
Yeah, the vaporizers are really nice. I do love the flavor from those.
Wow. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of head right away, but it's very, I don't know, I can't even say that. It's just very mild. It's not super strong. Being that it's more of an indica-based strain, It is a hybrid, but it is more indica leaning. Isn't that correct? From based on what we've
Supposed to
read.
be from Dragonflies.
Yeah, it's nice. What I will say about this, again, it depends on what you're consuming this with. The jet is fantastic. This is a very fine grind that we have been able to use with the.
I definitely get garlicky.
I don't get any garlicky.
I'm going to try it again, maybe.
Maybe my
As
second.
long as you're not going to get too high.
No, I mean, even if I do. Okay, we'll use some.
Get some good CBD.
Yeah, CBD
Yeah.
and lemon juice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's straight to the face. Not to the face, to the head. But
Yeah.
not like the
Okay,
outside
now
of...
garlicky notes.
Not the outside of my head, like headband, but like the inside of my head.
Well, you know what's cool is that like this bong, because I've got it full still, there's still little ambers.
I know. It rolls really nice.
Yeah, this is not, well, I mean, you think about it with the airflow, that's going to keep it lit. This would be, if you got a get together of people, that's great.
Oh, it's such a nice piece.
Because you can hand it around and cool thing. Somebody's no, I was about to say too stupid. If somebody is just a little bit more on the Butterfinger side, worst case scenario, you got to clean up some water.
Right?
Might lose
and
a
some
bowl.
bud. Yep.
Yeah, you won't touch bud if it hits the ground.
No, I don't. I'm
know,
like,
certain people have religious beliefs, and Brandon's religious belief is do not let that touch the ground.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not smoke bud that has touched thy ground.
No.
So it's, but
this shit's
yeah.
sacred.
I do get that. I get the garlicky notes. I like the garlicky notes though. It's not P.F. Chang's come in your mouth with lots of garlic.
No, but it's like just a nice little garlicky hint.
Yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It is heady. It's not an indica that makes you sleepy. I'm not sleepy at all right now. Now, of course, it hasn't fully hit. Now, we've got the entourage effect of being able to use all of the different cannabinoids and the flavonoids, and the terps, everything over there to be able to give you that nice feel. But it depends on the delivery method in which you're consuming. I would imagine using this with a drier vaporizer, I would get more of the garlicky notes because we're burning it. And so you tend to lose that. Like, you remember when we had that flour, the blueberry muffin or blueberry waffle.
Yeah.
The CBD.
Oh my goodness. Something Farms.
Stony Brook.
Stony Branch Farms.
Stony Branch Farms.
Yeah. Blueberry waffles.
Blueberry waffles was fantastic, and you could taste blueberry for the first 3 or 4 hits.
Gosh, it was amazing.
And then it kind of dissipated, but it tasted like hemp. Blah.
Did you have the crafty then?
No.
Okay.
We smoked that in a joint.
Oh yeah, back in the... Well, they also sent it in flour that I thought we used in like a bong or something.
Oh yeah, they sent us pre-rolls and they actually sent us flour. I still have that flour.
Oh cool. That's awesome.
I'm gonna use that. I don't know.
Loved their stuff.
I really need to take a break. I need to take a tea break.
Yeah.
I've been feeling it and I don't want to do it.
Nervous to like...
This is my first time feeling like I don't want to take a break. A lot of stresses in my life, a lot of stresses in your life.
Yeah.
And, one of the elements of cannabis that's really great is the de-stressing part. I recently saw this, it was like a brief kind of clip. Like I'm a fan of short clips because I have my ADHD. It feeds my brain. It's like, oh, good. Stimulation and bite size. But there was this guy who was talking to Andrew Tate. And he's like, oh yeah, I use weed only at night to kind of come down. And he's like, because I need to have my thoughts stop. He goes, why are your thoughts stopping? Like, you just need to keep them going. Like, you've got other ideas, and you just keep going. Like, I get that. I get that mindset. But for those of you that live with ADHD and there's constant, like, it feels like a TV show. It feels like a TV that's turned on in your head to 80 on the volume, always running in the background. You can do your life, but the TV is on, and whatever show is on, whether how annoying it is or how informative it is, because your brain is just taking all the information that it's ever stored, and it's just randomly like a washing machine. With cannabis, what it does for me, and it, regardless if somebody may think like, well, then you're using it as a crutch. Fuck you. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a crutch.
Yeah.
Why not? Right? What is a crutch for? Is to be able to support you, to be able to take the weight off of you so you can be able to let something heal.
Yeah.
Think about that right there, that statement. So when we think about cannabis, like I'm actually, because I'm always nervous about indica strains. I think ever since Banana Kush, it's really got me nervous.
Well, that and Bubba Kush, honestly, when we first started the
fucking
show,
Bubba Kush.
like legit, it's like our second episode or something. And you had like
It was
the
right before that.
worst experience with it.
Oh, it was horrible.
And so
Absolutely
it's like
horrible.
ever since then, I feel like indicas have kind of made you wary.
Yeah, they have, because I associate indica with anxiety, panic, and I also associate it with tired. And I don't always want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like last night, I tried the carts that we'll be talking about with paper planes, and I had this cart, and normally I take it to go to sleep, but I took it and I watched a movie. My wife was like, "I'm going to read a book," and I'm like, "I just don't want to think. There's too much stress in my life right now. I just want to escape for just a little bit, just to give me a little reprieve, and then I can go back into my stress-filled world."
Yeah.
Is that okay? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone needs a break.
But I watched the whole movie and I enjoyed the movie that much more. Like, it was so nice. And so when thinking about this type of strain and what I'm feeling right now, because we've got enough time in there, I've got dry mouth.
Yeah, I do have cotton mouth.
Dude,
Yep.
where are those one things? Let's try them out. So we had a company reach out to us, and they sent us this.
Lubricity.
Oh, wow. You know
Lubricity?
what? Right on, dude. Right on. I love that. Lubricity. Hey, baby. We're going to Lubricity.
Lubricity, baby.
Oh, my God. Fucking names. Lubricity. Like, honestly, dude, you're going to find this in your local CVS or
we deal with
Walmart.
Cottonmouth, so you don't have to.
And this is going to be right by your Astroglide or your Johnson & Johnson, whatever lube you prefer.
Dry mouth oral spray. 4 times per
You
day,
said
4
oral.
pumps per use, 4 hours of relief.
Okay, so this is supposed to cut back on cotton mouth. Now, Brandon's already tried it out. I'm a little nervous because these sprays can tend to taste like shit. I'm going to give it a try. How many sprays does it say?
4.
4 sprays.
4 sprays.
Fuck my life. All right. And I'm not going to drink any water after. I really want to see if this is going to work. Oh, well, it's not going.
So it says dry mouth, also known as xerostomia, occurs when there's a decrease in the when there's a decrease in the production of saliva in the mouth. Lubricity forms a gel-like substance in the mouth, which retains saliva longer than water. Our unique formula has 5 simple natural ingredients, providing up to 4 hours of relief from cotton mouth, and comes in convenient pocket-sized bottles. Well, I took the thing off, and it seems like it got on my fingers.
Okay, so I'm making faces over here, and if you're watching this, you could definitely see my faces as Brandon was describing everything.
Yeah. Tell me about it before I squirt it in my mouth.
Lubricity, indeed. It feels like it's jizzing in your mouth. It's gross. Yeah, see, and that's why I felt like I right there. I'd be like, hey, look, if you don't mind those fluids in your mouth, hey, that's awesome. Good for you.
Well, it doesn't help that you said it right as I was squirting it in my mouth.
Dude, because I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for those who are listening. They heard that. They're just like, I'm unsubscribing. That guy's too dirty. If you got to this point and you've been listening to me talk and now you're offended,
I'm surprised.
go smoke more weed. Because, I mean, you need to chill out. But I will say this.
The flavor's not the worst. It's not a weird flavor.
It's the consistency for me was weird. I felt I felt slightly used and degraded.
Well, like I said, it got on my fingers a little bit. It feels almost like oily.
Yeah, it's got like kind of a lotiony feel.
So it says premium hyaluronic acid.
So you know when this would be really good? Okay, I will say this. Brandon, my cotton mouth has pretty much gone away. And it was dry. Like I needed to go, like it was going to be a bunch of this where people are going to be like, I'm going to get another 1-star review for us and just going, they kept smacking their gums and sounded like they were eating. Like if you think that we're eating and you're listening to it, just know it's just we have dry mouth. We're not dicks. We're not going to be sitting there munching on chips going, Doritos are better than taquitos, right? I mean,
well, that was supposed to be next week's episode,
exactly.
So Jesse ruined that.
I can see why you need to do 4. I probably got a total of like 3 and then kind of stop. Just the consistency is not. When I see something like this, I think of like Banaka or Scope's mouth spray or those killer THC sprays that Dragonfly gives out. Those things are amazing. Anyway, we'll go into that in a different other episode. But this, I'll do one more because I can still feel it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're feeling.
I still feel it too. It's definitely not as bad though.
You know what? When I spray something in my mouth, my tongue's probably going to be in the way. I don't spray it into my cheek and it just jizzed all over me. Like it just shot back out.
Well, give it some cat air and send it home.
I have to wipe that on my pants because I have nowhere else to go. But it's okay. Yeah.
Like the flavor's not weird. It's not like
no, it's not horrible.
Super gross flavor. You're like, oh.
The consistency is a little jizzy.
I don't know. I've never tasted that.
Whatever, dude. I've seen the videos you posted online. No, I'm just saying, like, it's got this, like, it's a very viscous liquid. It's not quite oil, not quite as thick as lotion. It's like an in between.
Yeah, it's not quite.
Yeah, it would be like taking like
compare it to.
Take gelatin and put it into water and stir it up, and then drink it before it starts to set. It's gonna be like a little thick, and you're like, I don't like this. This is not good. But this isn't bad. But anyways, to go back to the strain, because that actually helps out. So
how's your cotton mouth?
It's so. It's not bad.
It's not as bad as it was.
No, and there are strains, like this strain was getting to that point where it becomes so overwhelming, it becomes like sand in your mouth. And I don't know who these sickos are, but they're like, I actually like cotton mouth. Like, what? No. Do you drink or eat something? No, just let it sit in.
How are you feeling now?
On this strain, I definitely can smell and taste garlic right now. So
I feel like a little bit in my hands, not
I feel it in my forearms.
Yeah.
I feel it in my shoulders.
Not like
I don't
heavily relaxed, but
very,
like a
very
light.
light.
Yeah.
Like, again, I've described it before. This would be the equivalent if you squat a lot. I definitely don't, but you get this feeling of the bar right on your shoulder. It would be as if the bar wasn't loaded. You just feel a little pressure. But the head, very clear.
Yeah.
Slight headache for me.
Interesting.
I think that's
I had, just a little bit ago, I had a tightness in my jaw. I don't now, but I don't have a headache. I don't know.
I think this is a good one. It's a very calming strain. I feel a little bit in my chest, just a tiny bit in my chest, which is more indicative for me and indicas. But I like it.
Yeah, I feel more relaxed, like definitely more relaxed in my body. My head almost feels like it's floating above my body in a weird sort of sense.
Like almost the top of my head wants to come off and go.
Like I feel light tingling in the top of my head
tingle.
too. Yeah.
Not bad. It's nice. It's slight pressure on the sides, just a little bit of pressure. That might be my glasses.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I'm not feeling that right now.
But yeah, but it's really nice.
It was a pleasant experience.
Yeah, this is an all around daytime strain, I would say. I'm not. This would be good. Okay,
it depends on what you're doing.
Imagine this. Yeah. I work from home, but I work from a call center, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm just in my home. But I'm actually like, if I was working in the office, I'm working in a call center. And I like to use cannabis to chill me out because I get lots of angry people and lots of rejection, like all day long.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of job, I would love to use this type of strain. And even though I went off very graphically about this mouth spray, I would use this with it. Any type of dry mouth strain, I would highly recommend this because of, despite all the shit I said earlier, just put that out of your head and don't think about, anyways, I'm not going to go graphic, but It is a very nice feel. And if I had this spray along with this strain during my daytime, and I've got to do a bunch of mundane tasks, and I consider that if you're in a setting where you're doing a pretty repetitive job, this would be nice. If you worked on a factory line and that's what you're doing right now, you're testing out little toys or something like that. Like this would make it awesome. Every smoke break going outside,
Yeah.
I would puff on this. If I could find this in a pen, that'd be great during the daytime.
Because you can still function and move. But like, I think about it when you were saying like working on a line and standing there or, you know, doing something that long, your body's going to be sore, and that this would really help just kind of take some of that soreness out.
And also being able to put your mind in a very relaxed state, because you know what, even if people don't think that those type of jobs are hard or stressful, they're very stressful. I've done those jobs before.
Oh yeah.
And it's demoralizing in many aspects, because a lot of them, they're like, you can't even listen to music because you need to be able to listen to Alejandro over there, because he's going to be like, hey, Mr. Jesse, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. You're not going to be able to pay attention. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But that's,
I worked at New Skin, and I had a headphone that I would run up inside my hoodie and into my ear. Yeah. Cause they're like, no music. And I'm like, why?
yeah, seriously, that job would suck without it. Could you imagine you're using this in that setting now?
Oh, it would have been way faster because I'm way more hyper focused when I use cannabis.
I will say this though, after time, it does start to build in my chest. Like I'm feeling it right in my sternum. Like Sigourney Weaver and
like
Aliens.
You're getting a tightness?
Yeah, I feel like it's like pushing.
Interesting.
That's weird. I mean, for anybody who's watching, you can, you're actually going to feel it. But I mean, it's like I feel it in my chest, but it's not overwhelming right now. I don't feel like after this, I need to go take a shitload of CBD just to drive home. Like, no, I feel very relaxed, but I feel the pressure pushing out, not panic, just pressure.
I don't feel pressure, but usually I don't feel the cannabis on my chest.
But
a lot of it is,
now.
I do. A lot of it is in my shoulders and my back, but it's not a tightness.
I don't feel it. I feel a tiny bit in my shoulders, very little in my upper back, like right near the base of my spine to my head.
Yeah. Right at the base of your neck.
Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of where mine was. And I was like, I feel like my head's almost floating up above that because of it. I'm like, it's just
but it's not a high feeling. Like I know if I consumed a lot more, if I did a full bowl in that jet, which again, go in the show notes, check out Jet, get yourself one. Those things are cool. And we don't even have a promo to give you. So we just love it.
I'll reach out to them and see if we can get one before this airs.
Yeah, we should, because
I love this piece.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be a common fixture here. Any flower review,
you'll see this here often.
Yep, yeah. This is really cool because it's the cleanest feel and the cleanest flavor you can get from it. Like any other bong. It's just, yeah, I'm sorry, other bongs. Like, you know, I'm cheating on those other bongs. Like,
I know. I love them too, but
I didn't put a ring on it.
What's up, baby?
Right? We're polyamorous with this thing. We both share it.
I mean, we were passing it back and forth.
Well, you have to live with her, but you know, when I visit, I get to put my mouth all over it. Anyway, so. But this is really good, but it is a very cottonmouthy strain. I will say that. Even though I've had these shots in my mouth from Lubricity, all of it, sexual innuendo, like all of it. There's nothing getting around it. Like, Lubricity. How do you not? Lubricity.
I know.
Hey, you got a hot date? Lubricity. Yeah, baby, don't worry. I can go all night.
Got a sticky mouth?
Lubricity. Like it's really good, but you have to, either if not, you're going to be chugging water like a lot. Or, you know, your favorite beverage. So
I mean, it is nice because it does take the weird stickiness out of your mouth, even though
there's no clicking.
I'm still dry. Yeah, exactly. So it is better.
I just wish the spray came out a little bit more in fine mist.
Oh, instead of a squirt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me know what's going on.
I feel like it can be kind of hard with those small bottles sometimes. And maybe just like the thickness of it makes it tough to actually spray.
I want to know if there's a warning label on it.
Do not put this in your butt.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time. I don't know. You know what sucks now is that when I am elevated, and with my eyes, it makes it harder to
Do you want me
see.
to try and read it?
Yeah, can you?
I
read
tossed
it?
mine over there.
Yeah. So what's the warning on that?
For use by adults 18 years and older, do not apply lubricity if you are pregnant, nursing, or allergic to any of the ingredients. Do not apply lubricity if you have any medical condition that might come into a conflict with this product. Keep out of reach of children. Do not use if plastic seal is broken. For best results, store in a cool, dry place. Stop using consulting your doctor in the event of redness or soreness of mouth tissue. Ingredients are water, xylitol, sodium hyaluronate, sodium benzoate.
If I didn't have panic now.
Sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate. Okay.
That read like a typical like pharmaceutical grade product you're taking over there. May cause anal bleeding, brain bleeds, you know?
No, the only thing was like, don't take it if you're pregnant. Don't use it if you're under 18. Or allergic to any of those ingredients. But
I know that
I've heard of xylitol, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate.
There are mouthwashes that you can take. I've known that for years. Like,
Yeah.
Here, let me see it. Sis, my eyes have kind of. Oh yeah, there we go. Because I'm farsighted. Do I have farsight, nearsighted?
Your eyes aren't good all the time. I don't know.
No, my
That's
eyes.
all
I
it
can't
is.
see like far distances.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what one it is. We'll just say they're not good all the time.
My eyes, they ain't so good. But yeah, anyways, not to go too long on this one. This is cool. Yeah, we'll figure out something over there. Let's see if we can get a link for these guys too. But this type of strain is definitely one to help you not to disassociate, but definitely for you to be able to cope. This is a good mental health strain, I would say.
Yeah.
I really like this. If you've got, I think that pressure that I was feeling, because it's dissipated.
Do you feel foggy at all?
No, not at all. Like, my eyes are slightly blurry
Yeah.
all the time from my diabetes.
Okay.
It gets worse when I consume cannabis.
I was like, mine for some reason right now feel a little blurry.
Yeah. No,
That's not normal for me.
Well, because I think of the dilation that that you typically feel, like, the eyes getting red and all that stuff. It's because the blood vessels in your eyes are relaxing so much that it's like, I don't want to even keep my
got a lot of light. So
yeah. But it's really, I think with this one, it's just strange. That part is strange. A little bit of blurriness.
Like, I feel really clear-headed. I feel really focused.
Yeah.
It's a really not overly relaxing, but it is a nice relaxing. Like,
I agree.
So if you are working from home, or even like, it could be a nice end of day strain.
Yeah. I think both ways. I could see this as if you're a wake and baker.
Yes.
There's even a whole episode we need to do after this thing I saw. It was really cool as a doctor. But anyways, talking about waking and baking and how that can improve a lot of different things going on with your life. But anyways, that would be a cool episode, right? We'll just go into wake and baking, like the science and all that stuff. But when thinking about wake and baking, tends to get a really negative connotation with somebody who think like, oh, well, you can't do your job and smoke, or eat, or, whatever way you use cannabis. This type of strain, though, this would be awesome in a cart. It's great as flower.
I would like
I really am excited to try it in my crafty.
Yeah.
I got to charge that thing like.
That's okay.
Freaking irritating.
I would like it in a live resin, because the Dragonfly live resins that we've had have actually been really good. So, yeah, if that in a concentrate from them, hopefully.
Yeah.
See if that's a thing.
I would love to see this in a concentrate. This is and this isn't just indicative to Utah. Like, you can get this pretty much anywhere. I've seen a lot of it. West Coast, Arizona, Nevada. It's a pretty common strain that you can find. It's not one of those craft strains that we've had a few of those on the
that are
show.
like dispensary specific or grow specific.
Yeah, grow specific, or it was just like a one-time grow just to test it out, and they had a bunch of it, and maybe it'll make a comeback. This is a strain where I believe that I'm sure they keep in high stock.
That one it was one of their popular, most favorite, like.
Yeah, don't let the names turn you off, because garlic and banana sounds disgusting. Like, that's gross.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
there are some really weird names when it comes to cannabis. Like even FJ1.
Yeah, J1, Jack 1.
Also Jack 1. Yeah, there's also an FJ1.
Oh yeah, FJ1. I mean,
there's all sorts of weird names.
But the thing is, and it's the reason why, like on one of the episodes, it was actually a podcast we were on where they were talking about that. Like, yeah, the strains, you could definitely classify them as bullshit. But the thing why I think they're so important is because it helps you to be able to associate a certain type of feeling with a certain type of product. It's the reason why somebody will say, I only take Advil, I don't take ibuprofen. Like, okay, it's the same thing, but there is a name that you've associated value with it. And for me, that name alone is a big value add for me. I am not such a canna snob that I'm like, well, it depends on the geographical. Of course, it fucking depends on that, right? Or if we grew bananas in Utah, which you can't, but if we could, would they taste the same as the places that they get it?
Oh no,
absolutely
not even close.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all dealing with the soil, the way it's grown, the time of year it's harvested, all these different things.
The whole climate, like there's a big difference.
Huge.
Yeah.
And with cannabis, though, I think is one of the best parts about it is that you can mimic certain things that are in certain conditions based on how you're growing it. If it's an indoor, and are you being able to add different things in there? Are you putting CO2 in there for different areas to feed it? And, reducing the light, making it warmer, making it cooler. Like, there's so many different things you can do with it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why you can get more
consistent. What are your levels? Are your levels the same? Because even when we started with that grow out in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I learned, I was like, oh, hey, so if your nitrogen and like your water and your light, like if all of these levels don't actually match up, your grow won't actually be as good as it could be, because there's certain percentages of every specific thing to be at specific levels to get the most optimum grow. And it's like, you really can control that to like such a minute thing, but it just takes way more care and
a lot more attention. Yeah, exactly. And that's the part that a lot of people don't think about it. The people that consume cannabis and just go, I'm like, what is it you're smoking? Like, whatever my friend gave me. Like, I pay him $130 every 2 weeks, and he gives me whatever he has.
Oh yeah. Well, it was like, so McLean, I hung out with him.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the carts that he gets are like distillate, and he always gets anxious and that. And I'm like, well, that's probably why it's like a distillate cart. So you're obviously going to have more of an anxiety approach. Probably because you have like an isolated compound of THC with probably just put back in terpenes if they do. Like, it's nowhere near the same.
No, one of the things I do is a prophylactic before I consume a cart that's distillate. I squirt some lemon juice into my mouth to prepare my body for it. And it works great. Every time I've done it now, like, I can enjoy it.
Oh, nice.
And not get the pan. My wife recently, she's like, I don't know what is going on. My wife has such a crazy cannabinoid system. 1 week it's this way, next week it's literally just shifts on a dime.
Probably everything going on in life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With the stressors and all that stuff. I mean, but she still takes time to enjoy cannabis. And with cannabis, like, sometimes it makes her feel that way. And I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't go to CBD first. I went to lemon juice. I was like, try this first. Not because I don't want to waste any CBD, but I want to make sure that it's not, because why take away from your experience? Because it is a
if it's just
effect.
Heart racing,
and
you're not like, if that's the only issue with it and you could reduce that, then maybe the rest of the experience could be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that because I was getting, like I said before, I was getting a lot of that pressure, like aliens type of pressure. It's gone completely.
Interesting.
The dry mouth is not as bad, and it all has to do from lubricity.
It really is a lot better.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not clicky. And a reason why I say this is nice is that, say you are a cannabis consumer, maybe you're a person that operates on cannabis all day long, and that's totally fine. Like, right? Where you can go into conversations and nobody's going to be like, was that guy high a little bit? Was he high?
Right.
They're not going to say, they're going to be like, oh, he was very nice. He was reasonable.
There was a post that we put on Instagram recently, and it was like, oh, the trick is if you're always high, no one will never know you're high. And someone had commented and like, this is BS. And I was like, actually, it's not. I was high for 5 years and my family never knew until I told them.
Yeah, I was high for a year. My wife didn't know.
Yeah. It's really, unless you act high or look like, it's really on you, I feel like most of the time, because I've been able to do it in function at work, like everywhere. No one had any clue. I would take the distillate out of my cart, put it in my coffee in the morning because I would puff on my pen before work, and then I'd get in, take a little bit out, put it in my coffee, drink it, and have basically like an edible. I had hyperfunction, and I would get way more work done than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I was like their escalations person that everything would go to. And it's just, no one has any idea unless you either tell them or you smell like weed.
Yeah. And that's hard.
Or you look like, hey, you're high. And honestly, most of the time.
And just don't be that person who's, don't be smoking around the clothes that you're going to be leaving in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if that's a worry for you, and also just like what Brandon said, like take steps to make sure that you're not, that's why I brought this up, because if you're walking and talking all day, if you're constantly drinking from water in the middle, that's a little bit distracting.
Yeah.
And I found that sometimes where I'm having a meeting with a client and I had a couple puffs before I went in just to kind of just put me in a state.
Yeah. And then you're just drinking the whole time.
Yeah. And I'm not going to chew on gum while I'm speaking. That's just, it's not rude. It's just distracting. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. This is awesome with that. But it's, I don't know. I when I was doing this, it reminded me of that movie Friday. Have you seen Friday? Okay, it's a long time ago. I was in high school when this came out, so it was a long time ago. But Ice Cube's in it. And for those who know who Ice Cube is, I'm sure most of you do. And
yeah, we do.
He's hanging out with this girl. He doesn't smoke weed, but his friend finally gets him high. And he's sitting there, and he's like being weird. And he hears this like dog whimpering, and he has this like porcelain dog on the ground. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, and this girl he's hanging with, she's like, "Are you high?" And he goes, "Huh?" She goes, "Are you high?" And he goes, "What? High? No, I'm not high." She goes, "You look high. For real?" Do I still look high? Like it was perfect, but that's what I say. Like it's not visible like that. Like if your eyes are red,
if they're super red, yeah,
you'll get a little bit of Izine and you're good to go.
That's what I had to realize going to the store. Like,
what are you gonna say? I have allergies.
Yeah,
I have allergies.
Honestly, I wear sunnies all the time, and sometimes when it's really bright in the summer, I still wear my sunnies inside because some of mine aren't super dark.
And his future is so bright.
Yeah. And all mine are prescription anyway. So when I go inside, I'm like,
you can lean on that.
I don't take them off all the time. Usually it's during the summer, just because it's like crazy bright.
Yeah. Well, but even then, like I don't know.
Yeah. No one's ever asked me like if I was high or suspected that I was high, because I never gave them a reason to think that I was high.
Right. Like when I go to networking events and, we've gone to many of them together.
Oh, yeah.
And then after hours, they'll ask me, they'll be like, "Oh, we don't, but you don't use it all the time." I'm like, "What time is it now?" They're all, I don't know, 12:43. Yeah, I'm high right now.
I took quite a few puffs right before I walked in here.
No, I was just all better conversations. But, I think it's important to remember that it's how you portray it. Like if you are constantly portraying things that are not indicative of somebody who doesn't use, that should be a good thing when they say you don't use all the time. Like, yeah, I use it this morning, and they go, "What?"
Yeah,
and you're just so functional. Mm-hmm. Like to them, it's not to get frustrated with, because it's a lot of people get pissed off who are in the cannabis culture, like when normies, you got the normal people.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't use all the devil's lettuce, right? But it's there's this weird. It's just an assumption that all of us are just idiots walking around with a hoodie on, listening to fucking Rage Against the Machine or some shit like that. And our day is just full of snacking and watching stupid videos like
And
that.
playing video games.
Yeah.
Living in our mom's basement.
Shit, I do all of those except my mom's basement. But anyways, it's like that. We don't have to have that weird feeling about it. It's okay to smoke cannabis in the middle of the day.
Yes, it is. Because honestly, how many people take a medication first thing in the morning? Like and if you use it for stress, anxiety, depression, pain, how many of those people are taking a medication first thing in the morning? If you're using it for focus, well, is that going to help you get your work done? Okay, is that the same as using coffee or mushroom coffee or any other substance that humans use in order to make themselves better?
It is all for the purpose. What are you using it for? For those who don't believe that they need to use it, you're right. For those who think that they shouldn't use it anymore, you're right. Like it should be explored. I think that's the one thing that I love about cannabis. And I've seen a lot of people out there that are like, I'm addicted to cannabis and not smoking cannabis. It was a horrible feeling. And I get that. Side note, that's really good. I can taste the garlic now. Like that's the third bowl for me. Yeah, third hit. Third bowl would be, I'd be insane right now. But to think about it on that side, it's like, I don't have this weird stigma about using cannabis every day the way I had when I was on medications. Now, not to say that medications don't have their place. They do have their place. It helped me for a while, but it was to a point where I needed to get off of it because it was a far less productive crutch than I think that cannabis offers me on creativity, on work.
Well, and some are necessary medications. Like
100%.
They actually have to have them. And it's not everyone does. No. And some people are trying to get off of some of those medications because they're looking for an alternative, because you've noticed how it impacts your life or your health or your sex life. Like there are so many things that medication can impact. Yeah. Even cannabis.
Oh, absolutely. Cannabis is not without its warning, and it's not without its dangers as far as things that can happen to you. There are side effects in those other ways you could think about it, right? I mean, they have anecdotal evidence that using cannabis will lower your testosterone. And it's anecdotal because there's not a conclusive amount of data that's been gathered to really make that an assumption. But in some people, they're going, the only thing I've been doing more of is smoking more pot. And they're like, oh, that could decrease your sex drive.
But have they looked at all those people's diets and everything else in that instance?
Yes, exactly. Or did they get actual full functional, functional medicine blood work? Because that's a full panel.
That's the problem with too many studies is they're all, the data is biased. If you guys want to check out Dragonfly, they have a couple dispensaries here in Utah. Or if you just want to check out garlic bananas, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, great. Garlic bananas, fantastic. You're going to get a lot out of this strain. Daytime, nighttime strain. This is, I think, of all hours of the day, this is a great all-around strain. I was hesitant because I am a big sativa user, but
and it's an indica hybrid, so
and it's fantastic. It is very good. Go to your local dispo if your plug has it. Ask them for it. Ask them if they can get their hands on it. This is a great one to have in your rotation.
I really like that garlicky flavor.
Yeah. I do too. It's so mild. I said, it's not P.F. Chang's.
I know. So,
garlic.
And if you want, look in a new piece, get the jet filter one. We'll put the link down below. It is fantastic.
It's the best. Get it. You definitely, it's worth it. I know money is tight. But if you have an opportunity to get one of these. And like I said,
on your wish list.
Yeah. We're not even sponsored by them at this point, but
it's just a good piece.
It's just a really good piece. So highly recommend. It is big. Just know that, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Coolest device.
All right. Love you guys.
Take care.
See you next week.